Can't stop the feeling. Dance, dance, dance. Well, welcome again. Welcome, everybody. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being awesome. Thanks for the follow. Thanks for coming to this episode today on November 16th of the week of persistence. Think and Grow Rich. So, welcome. We're going to talk about persistence, the chapter from Think and Grow Rich. It's been an amazing chapter. Since Sunday, we've been reading this chapter, and it's chapter 9 in the book Think and Grow Rich. So, we will be going through it for the rest of the week and talking about what it takes to have that. So, before we get going, let me say hi to everybody. Thanks for being here. Thanks for coming in. My name is Kamal, and I am a student and teacher of the Law of Attraction. I'm studying with Bob Proctor this material, Think and Grow Rich, and Thinking into Results. I'm here to help you develop this habit, develop persistence into you so that you start becoming more effective in your daily routines and everything you do. But why this book? Why Napoleon Hill? What's the deal with the Think and Grow Rich? I was reading in the back of it. It gives the history of Napoleon Hill. It gives the history of what he did and how he got to do this job, and how Andrew Carnegie gave him the challenge to dedicate his life for the writing of the laws of success. And then from that came this book. And it's just incredible that he actually had to take that challenge on, and he had to accept that challenge. And just imagine what kind of persistence he had to write this book. And everything in this book, and Think and Grow Rich, is still applicable today. Even though it's been 120 years later, as you read through it, and everybody who is somebody who got to somewhere knows about this book. Now, my mentor, Bob Proctor, reads this book every day. He's been reading it since 1960, 61, and he's made a multi-billion-dollar business out of it and of Thinking into Results, which we coach and teach about. So now I've been reading it for the last 8 months, and this has changed my life. This is an incredible book. So with this chapter, Think and Grow Rich Persistence, it's the 8th step towards riches. Sustain effort necessary to induce faith. So what does it take to have that? And today I'm going to focus on pages 225, maybe page 227 of this persistence. So it says in here, it is a state of mind. So how could persistence be a state of mind? And it's kind of interesting that the whole title is called Money Mastermind, but persistence is a state of mind. So can you just switch your mind to become persistent? Can you go from being weak and not strong and you cannot finish anything and do anything until you become it? Do you switch? It's like a light switch. Persistence is a state of mind, therefore it can be cultivated like all states of mind. Persistence is based upon the definite causes. So what are these causes? What do you need to have to be persistent so that you continue your work every day? So that you can continue the efforts that you have to make every day. What is it going to take? So number one, it's kind of saying here, definiteness of purpose. Do you have a purpose? Do you know what are your wants and what is it that you want? In Thinking into Results, we ask many of our clients and everybody, what do you want? And you've heard that from Bob Proctor many, many times. What do you want? Do you know what you want? See, because if you don't know what you want, how are you going to find out what is your purpose? So before you develop this habit of persistence, what do you want? I'm going to type it here in the chat. What do you want? It's a simple question, but when you take time to answer it and figure it out, it's not easy. How do you define your purpose? Perhaps the most important step toward development of persistence, a strong motive force, one, to surmount many difficulties. If you don't know what you want, when you wake up every day and things come up, and things will come up because life will happen and will test you. If you don't have a strong purpose, if you don't have a strong desire and strong want, you're not going to continue. So with Think and Grow Rich, we can study that. We can learn how to adjust the state of mind so you can have a strong want, a strong desire. Number two, it says desire. This is on page 225 of this book. It is comparatively easy to acquire and to maintain persistence in pursuing the object of intense desire. So intense desire, is that same as desire? Is that same as you kind of feel you want it? Do you desire ice cream? Do you desire a new car? But yeah, maybe you'll get it one day. Most people will say, I will do that I will do that when that happens. you don't really desire it. If you have something in your mind and you're delaying the action, you're delaying the pursuit of it, you're not desiring it far enough. Because if you want it, and if you're desiring it, if you're truly intense about it, you would go and you get it. But the fact that you're not going after it, you don't have a strong desire. Desire, it is comparatively easy to acquire and to maintain persistence in pursuing the object of intense desire. Number 3, or C, self-reliance. Belief in one's ability to carry out a plan encourages one to follow the plan through with persistence. Self-reliance can be developed through the principle described in the chapter or suggestion. So self-reliance, you have to start believing in yourself a lot more. Now, how do you start believing in yourself? How do you start developing that belief that you can do things? Well, you do that by starting to take action. It's not going to happen by just reading. It's not going to happen by just listening to me. It's not going to happen by you just thinking about it. You got to take the action. You got to make the call. You got to send that email. You got to get that course. You got to open the book and read it. You got to open a book and read it like you want to read it. Don't just go through the motions. Self-reliance. You see, we often are asking everybody else for opinions and going everywhere, but instead of asking ourselves, you've got the answers within you. You just don't trust yourself. So you have to start building that trust one day at a time, one page at a time. And you start building this self-reliance. You're going to get stronger. It's just like the first day when you haven't worked out for a while, you go back to the gym and you start. And then the second day you go a little bit more. And then the third day you do a little bit more. If you don't push, it's not going to happen. You got to have that self-reliance. It's like me, when I'm enjoying myself and out there having fun with my motorcycle and I'm taking that corner and I'm riding, I'm relying on my skill set. And if I don't push myself, I'm not going to advance. I'm not going to move forward. If I don't trust myself, I will not take the corner. I'll push the brakes and stop. And so many have stopped already. So many are not doing anything. So many are just stopped in their track. They just go to the job and they show up. Physically, they're there, but mentally, they're not there. So this game is a state of mind. This game of persistence is a state of mind because it says that. Persistence is a state of mind. Therefore, it can be cultivated. So you have to start relying on yourself. You got to start having a good, great desire, intense desire, and you got to have a definiteness of purpose. You got to have a want. You got to have something you've never had before. You got to have a goal. And thinking into results, we start by helping you deciding on what you want, figuring out something that you've never had before. It's not something that you've done. It's not something that you can just go to the basement and grab. It's something that you've never had, something big, something that you really want. You've never had it and you want it. And then you start building a plan, right? You start working at it every day. You take that action. Your desire will build as you want it. If you wake up one morning and you're bored and you're not enthusiastic about it, unless you're sick, unless you're not feeling good, and you don't go at working at it, you're not in pursuit of your excellence. You're not in pursuit of your awareness and your best abilities. You might have to change course. So you have to revisit that goal. Revisit that goal and revisit the want. And then your desire will fuel by taking the action. The action is going to help you move. Self-reliance is so important. You start building it day by day. D, definiteness of plans. Organized plans, even though they may be weak and entirely impractical, encourage persistence. So you got to have a plan. And most people are stuck on that plan. They'll have an idea of the network marketing business, MLM business, entrepreneurship business, manufacturing business, and they just sit down forever in the basement or at home planning. There is no need to do all that. You got to plan a little bit. You got to start somewhere. You got to look at what everybody else is doing and do something like it or better with your genius and get the help that you need. Organized plans. And when the plan is organized and you follow it, that's when you're going to have more persistence. You're going to say, okay, I'm going to do step 1. I'm going to do step 2. I'm going to do step 3. I'm going to do step 4. You might not want to do it, but you have to do it. If you don't follow through with the plan, you're not developing the persistence. If the plan says do steps 1 to 5 and you only do steps 1 and 2, you're not following through. If the plan said to show up 5 days a week and you show up only 2, you're not being persistent. So you have to start all over again, building that momentum. It's like climbing a mountain. You're not going to get to the top right away. You're going to have to get to the base camp first, the bottom. And then you're going to, go for an hour of walking and hiking. And then you get a little bit higher. Take a break. And then you go up again. Then you go up again. You're going to build that position. You got to build that energy. You got to build that level, right? One step at a time. Step E, accurate knowledge. Knowing that one's plans are sound based upon experience or observation encourages persistence. Guessing instead of knowing destroys persistence. So you cannot be guessing all the time. You cannot be just guessing at everything. You really have to work based on the knowledge, accurate information. So you got to do your research, you got to get your due diligence, you got to seek the help from those who know. You don't seek opinions from everybody and the news. You seek it from the masters. You go for the best and forget the rest. See, when I wanted to study mindset and get to that next level, I didn't go with anybody. I went with the one who's been doing it for 60 years. Now, why is that? Because he was taught by Earl Nightingale, who was taught by Napoleon Hill. So just imagine, we've got Napoleon Hill who taught Earl taught Bob, and now I'm learning from Bob. That's the key. You have to go for the ones who really know, the ones that resonate with you, and get that information. Don't be guessing. Don't spend the next 5, 10, 15, 20 years just shooting darts at the wall. You're going to miss most of the time. So if you're going to be guessing all the time, that's going to destroy your persistence because you're not going to hit any targets and nothing's going to happen. F, cooperation. Sympathy, understanding, and harmonious cooperation with others tend to develop persistence. So you have to cooperate with others. If you think you're going to go to that $1 million, $2 million, $10 million by yourself, forget it. It's going to be too boring, too hard. Unless you have like a genius idea and you're just going to sell it right away, which is very, 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 very rare, you're going to need a team. You're going to need to build a sales team. You're going to need to build a marketing team. You're going to build somebody that's going to help you go in that direction. You don't know who they are, but you just have to start and you will find them. You will resonate with that frequency. In the thinking into results, as we teach the material, you will move in that direction and you will attract the people that you need for the goal of your desire. Those people will start showing up because you move to that frequency and vibration. It is a state of mind. What are you thinking about all the time, right? So cooperation, sympathy, understanding, and harmonious cooperation with others tend to develop persistence. When you have a team working with you, you're going to get that knowledge. You're going to get that harmony. You're going to get that cooperation. And then you're going to show up for them and they're going to show up for you. And then you show up for each other. You're all working in the same direction, right? You're all going in the same direction. And that's what you want. You want everybody to show up for the same reason. These are people that you've selected very, very carefully. You've selected them. And they're going to help you on your mission. Now, they're going to have a piece of the action. But so what? You got to do that. G, willpower. We are still on page 226 of Think and Grow Rich. This is on the persistence chapter, chapter 9, which is when you have persistence, you're going to eliminate procrastination. Willpower. The habit of concentrating one's thought upon the building of plans for attainment of a definite purpose leads to persistence. So you're going to have a habit. Habit is something you do subconsciously, is that you wake up and you just do it. It's like going to the gym. You know how to get in, you know the weight, the first time it's strange, but then you get used to it. You build that habit. It's a routine. We are running automatically on this habitual behavior. 90-95% of what we're doing every day is habitual. Your income today is habitual. You might be not in agreement with this, but I tell you, the way you drive your car is habitual. You don't think about driving anymore. You just drive. You play in the music. You answer your phone. Don't do that. Don't text while driving. But habitually, you're driving automatically. You're just looking at the road and your mind just does its thing. It even moves away from the potholes. It moves away from things automatically. You don't think about the brakes. You just brake. You don't think about the gas. You just push the gas. So it's a habit. So what if you can start doing this kind of stuff to generate income? What if you can start thinking that the 100,000 you're making today or the 200,000, you're doing it by habit? What if you can move that habit to 400,000 or 500 or $1 million? Wouldn't you like to do that? Wouldn't you like to know what it takes? How you build your desire, how you start doing what you're supposed to be doing, how you change your self-image, how you change your habitual routine. So you start making that $500,000, that $1 million income habitually. Because why by habit? Then it's easy. If you think it's by working hard, you're going to start making more money, forget it. It's not by working hard. Many people are trying it. That's why they're broke. That's why they're fed up. That's why they're frustrated. That's why they're depressed. They're working hard and then they're not getting the results. So we have to work on the habitual behavior. The subconscious mind is so powerful. There's a whole chapter in this book on the subconscious mind, Think and Grow Rich. A whole chapter. And we teach that in Thinking into Results. You want to learn the best material? We've got it. So this willpower, this habit is incredible, which is actually the next step, habit. Persistence is a direct result of habit. So do you have a habit of watching TV? Do you have a habit of reading a book? Do you have a habit of buying a book and never reading it? Do you have a habit of where you have your coffee? The mind absorbs and becomes a part of the daily experience. The mind absorbs and becomes a part of the daily experiences upon which it feeds. Fear, the worst of all enemies, can be effectively cured by forced repetition of acts of courage. So you can eliminate fear by doing acts of courage, by actually taking the action. Fear, the worst of all enemies, can be effectively cured by forced repetition of acts of courage. Everyone who has seen active service in war knows this. That's what I'm talking about. The way to break into fear is to actually take the action. So these are the steps that are written here in this book about persistence, about how you can change your state of mind to have this persistence. And how can you do it by yourself? It's almost impossible. You got to shift your paradigm. You got to shift your mindset. Before leaving the subject of persistence, take inventory of yourself and determine in what particular, if any, you are lacking in this essential quality. So we just mentioned the steps from A to G to H. What are you lacking? Are you lacking in your goal and purpose? Are you lacking in your desire? Are you lacking in your self-reliance? Do you have this weakness? Do you have a plan? Do you have the knowledge? Do you have a team that's helping you do this? Where's your willpower at? How do you have willpower? Habitually, how can you change? So you got to take inventory of this and get help with your mindset. See, we're working with Bob, and once we learn that is 90% mindset, 10% strategy, the results have just fundamentally changed. You get these thoughts into your mind to get the purpose, to get the desire, to start depending on yourself, start having definite plan and knowledge and cooperation and willpower. Your results are going to go like boom. We're not talking 1-2% results. We're talking 100% results, doubling your results, 1,000% of your results. You're going to grow. There is no other way. It's the law. But how do you do that? Why are you not doing that right now? Well, there's a reason why you're not doing it. You are not aware. So in this book, by studying it, by reading this material, by studying Thinking into Results, you can become more aware. You can become more aware to how to develop your skills, develop your mindset, so you can see the opportunities. Right now, you don't see the opportunity. You're running around left and right and do this and do this and do that, and you run out of energy. But when you become more aware, you become very effective. So you take inventory of this. You measure yourself courageously, point by point, and see how many of the 8 factors of persistence you lack. You have to get honest with yourself. You measure yourself courageously. He didn't say measure yourself weakly. You do it courageously. You have to get honest with yourself. Because if you don't get honest with yourself, who is? You have to stand up for yourself. Like, this is about Think and Grow Rich. It's not about somebody else thinking, about you thinking. So you have to move that responsibility to you. You get honest with it point by point and see how many of the 8 factors of persistence you lack. And you can develop it. It doesn't matter where you're at. The analysis may lead to discoveries that will give you a new grip on yourself. But I want you to take it easy and don't feel bad that you feel that you don't go to the gym and you don't have the money and you don't have cooperation. You cannot even be on the team. Forget it. Feeling bad about the past doesn't do anything. It's where you are right now. You're here. You somehow met up with me. You somehow saw this. You're somehow reviewing this after I'm recording it, or maybe you're here live. So it doesn't matter. Don't give yourself a hard time. Step by step, you can grow the skills. Stick around, reach out and say, hey, I would like to know more how you do this. I would like to know more how I can stop failing. I would like to know more how I can become more aware. I would like to know how I can have a goal that I go after day in, day out, instead of changing the goal every day. How do you get this state of mind to get you to deliver results like nothing before? How do you do that? So you see, Napoleon Hill learned this from Andrew Carnegie. And then he went and interviewed 500 people of the wealthiest people of the time who went from nothing to multi-level millionaires. And he documented it in the Laws of Success. And then he summarized it in this book. And we're now studying. So does that mean this information is going to transfer to you immediately? No, it's going to take time. How fast? As fast as you want it. It's really up to you to get involved. So that's what I have to do at the beginning, right? It's just a beautiful chapter on persistence, because even doing this, like a simple video, persistence to come and do it every day. I'm going to give you one quick video every day. Sometimes 5 minutes, sometimes 10, sometimes 20. This is what it is. I'm now on page 227. If you want this book, if you want a PDF copy of the Think and Grow Rich, let me know and I can send you a PDF copy. And if you'd like to study it with me, reach out. I have a money mastermind coming up that's going to start in December, and we're just getting ready to do. We already have a book club that we're doing on Clubhouse in here, but the official one is going to start in a few weeks as we launch it officially, right? So reach out and start learning. Symptoms of lack of persistence. That's the next step of the class today, another 10 minutes or so. So what are the symptoms of lack of persistence? How do you see that? Here you will find the real enemies which stand between you and noteworthy achievements. So some people have really got things going for them, and you're comparing yourself. Here you will find not only the symptoms indicating weakness of persistence, but also the deeply seated subconscious causes of this weakness. So subconsciously, what weaknesses do they have? Study the list carefully and face yourself squarely if you really wish to know who you are and what are you capable of doing. These are the weaknesses which must be mastered by all who accumulate riches. This is on page 227. That is incredible. That's really incredible. I'm not going to go through them today. This is going to be for tomorrow. But I want to, turn your attention to what I'm having on Thursday, middle of the day. Thursday, middle of the day, I'm going to have a masterclass on thinking into results, where we can show you what thinking into results is about, how you can have $1 million mindset, how you can start achieving results like nothing before. We take students through live coaching for 6 months, where you learn how to set a goal, start doing what you want, like a really big goal, start transforming your self-image to the individual that you want to be, to start removing those limiting beliefs, to start believing in yourself, to stop being afraid. Because right now you are afraid of taking the action. You're afraid of jumping out of that job to another job. You're afraid of moving to another city, launching a business. Not sure what you're afraid of, but you are afraid of something. That's why you're not taking the action. And then we teach you how to become a leader, how to become an executive like nothing before. It is within you. You have that power. So I have that masterclass happening on Thursday for 2 hours, this Thursday at 12 p.m. Eastern. Reach out and let me know that you are interested. And it is on the site. That's the address there, elrassi.com/masterclass. And I would love to see you there. I would love to see you there. It's going to be a small group, limited seating. There's only so many seats on the Zoom, and there's only so many. I like to keep the conversation small so you have time to share and really explain what you want. So tomorrow I will continue this chapter on persistence, and then I will also invite you again to jump on this master class that we're going to have on Thursday. It's really a chance for you to discover what you've been missing and why your results are not showing up. You've probably been working hard, you've probably been trying, and I was like you as well. I was trying, I was working hard, I still working hard. I love it though now. I enjoy what I'm doing, and that's the difference. Have you found that joy in your work? Have you found that joy in your business? Do you have a team that needs to be motivated and move to that next level? Sales team, manufacturing team. Are they working on the same goal? Do they see the vision like you see it? Do you need this motivation and enabling you to take that action? Do you have an opportunity that you're worried about and that you need to walk through it? Reach out and let me know you need help. I look forward to speaking with many of you. I want to thank you for being here. I want to thank you for following me. I want to thank you for being awesome. Reach out and tell me what you think. Don't be a stranger. And I look forward to serving you again on this chapter. We're going to continue the talk all week. And then the best is yet to come. It's only Tuesday. So have an awesome day. God bless you all. Blessings, and be great, be awesome. The world is yours to have if you choose to. Let me know what you want. What do you desire most this year? See, we have a month and a half left, so don't give up on the year yet. That's a lot of days. Between now and end of the year, you could develop a whole new habit. So let me know how I can help you, and I look forward to speaking with all of you. Thank you. Good day. God bless.